Well, good morning, folks. It's me again. It's Daryl here speaking to you. First of all, I just want to praise God. This whole thing started as an experiment. I wasn't quite sure how it was going to work, and I was absolutely blown away by the response from family and friends with regards to the encouragement that I received from the last blog that I put out, the first blog that I put out. I really didn't expect that. I must be very, very honest with you. There was a lot of fear and trepidation with regards to how it would be accepted. But I think the big thing is that I've just got to learn to be open and honest, and not use this as a rant, as something that I've got a problem with this in the world, and I don't like this, and this is what I think, and to make it all about what is in my heart, and that is to get people just to slow down and to focus on Jesus Christ. It doesn't matter what denomination you belong to. It doesn't matter what the belief system is that you are part of. To me, it's not about that. To me, it's just about focusing again on Jesus Christ and letting people know how you find comfort and strength from focusing on Jesus. The world is full of people that have got a lot of opinions. And if you look at social media, everybody's got something to say and to pass something on and to try and make you aware of this. And at the end of the day, when you look at the first disciples, when you look at Jesus' disciples, those that followed him unto death, they didn't sit down and write nice letters. In actual fact, the majority of Paul's letters were usually written while he was under house arrest or while he was under arrest. And we have a Hollywood image of what jails were like in those times. And I think that we are so mistaken with regards to that. But I digress. So this morning, I want to talk about loneliness and how lonely the world is. We came to Canada all but 30 years ago. We knew nobody, and we decided that we wanted to fit in. We decided that we didn't want to be seen as South Africans. One of the nicest compliments I was ever paid, I was working at a church in London, Ontario, which wasn't my actual denomination, but I was working there, and I was so excited to be part of that, and I learned a lot. I really learned a lot while being there. And in any case, somebody came to me one day and they said, "Oh, you speak funny. What part of Newfoundland do you come from?" And I just looked at him and I thought to myself, wow, you've never heard any of my brothers that come from Newfoundland talk, because I definitely don't sound anything like the people from Newfoundland. But I was taken aback by how lonely people in Canada are. They don't mind giving. Canada, I think, is one of the most giving countries in the world, especially with finances. They have kick-started so many church projects throughout the world because of their generosity. But they're still very closed. They're very private. And they're very suspicious of people that come from other countries, understandably. But in any case, we came here and we tried to blend in. And I think we got it right. We weren't going to be the typical immigrant. My concept of immigrants living in South Africa, were they always came to tell you how wonderful it was back home, to the point of that we used to call them when we were in England, or when we were in Rhodesia, or when we were in, you know, so we didn't want to become part of that. But I did come to realize how Canada had changed, how Canada had become more of a self-focused country, even in churches, and departed from the Jesus-focused church. And I think that is where we need to get back to. We need to get back to that, where we are focused on Jesus. I want to tell you something now. Jesus tells us in the Gospel of Matthew, don't worry about stuff. And I shared that last week, but he says, don't worry about stuff. And we've come to realize, my wonderful wife and I have come to realize, that when you focus on Jesus, everything else loses its importance. Money loses its importance. Position loses its importance. Status loses its importance. Everything that the world sees as important loses its importance. So, in this message this morning, I want to, first of all, I want to again thank you for responding the way you did. And secondly, I want to encourage you. Turn your eyes towards the Lord. There's this wonderful, wonderful chorus that we used to sing. Turn your eyes unto Jesus. Look full in his wonderful face. And the things of this world will grow strangely dim. And that's the truth. The things of the world will grow strangely dim when you look upon his glory and grace. Goodbye, folks. Have a wonderful day, wherever you may be. And again, God bless.